Carlos, Karen. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. My goodness, this is a special day today. Look at all of you. Kote, we good to go? Give me 1 second. Um, Welcome everyone. It's wonderful to see all of you here for this month's Fusatsu ceremony. Can everyone hear me okay? Loud and clear? There you go. Um, Wonderful, wonderful to have all of you here. I don't think we've ever had so many people. It makes me all mushy on the inside, and I don't do mushy on the inside. So thank you very much for being here. As usual, we're going to chant together a little bit. We're going to go through this standard Fusatsu ceremony. It begins with atoning for past misdeeds. So we chant together the verse of atonement. We pay homage to the Buddhas, and then we purify ourselves with water, and then after that we recite together the precepts, we take refuge, and then we go home. Well, we stay home, but we go back to regular life for the next month, hoping to do good. Please chant out loud if you can, wholeheartedly bow or prostrate or whatever your body allows you to do. Wholeheartedly participate in this very, very special ceremony. It's only been going on for 2,500 years, so there you go. Okay, I think we're good to go. How much did I triple jab? So we're going to begin as usual with the introduction, which you have in the chant book. If you have it, you can use it. Otherwise, just simply follow along. The great precepts of Gautama Buddha were kept by all Buddhas. They were transmitted from Buddha to Buddha, and they were received by ancestor after ancestor. Our great master, Gautama Buddha, transmitted the precepts to Master Mahakashyapa. Master Mahakashyapa transmitted the precepts to Master Ananda. And the transmission of the precepts has continued in this way, passing from orthodox successor to orthodox successor in one line. Now we reaffirm our commitment to the precepts, to return the profound benevolence of Gautama Buddha. We trust this to be the true reception of Gautama Buddha's wisdom and life. Respectfully following the approval of Gautama Buddha, we would like to devote ourselves to the precepts, beginning with the toning for past misdeeds.
All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all.
As we pay homage to the Buddhas of the past, with every bell hit, you can either do a deep gasho, or you can do a full prostration if your body allows and you're brave enough.
Homage to the 7 Buddhas of the past. Homage to Shakyamuni Buddha, a person of this earth. Homage to Miroku Buddha, symbol of hope for the future. Homage to Manju Bodhisattva, symbol of great wisdom. Homage to Fugen Bodhisattva, symbol of great activity. Homage to Kanzeon Bodhisattva, symbol of great compassion. Homage to the successive generations of ancestor bodhisattvas.
Well, we are officially at the part where we practice the water purification. If you brought water and a leaf, then we can use that. Otherwise, I have water for you. Oh, it's okay. I was showing Kote earlier. You can't see because I'm far away, but this leaf is the same leaf that I used last month and probably 2 months ago. And it turns out that the leaf now has a second leaf on the root. So I guess in a couple of months, I'll have a plant here, which means we officially created life together. Thank you. Okay, so we take the piece of foliage, the leaf, or whatever you brought. We sprinkle ourselves 3 times, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, because, we like our 3s. And in our minds and in our hearts, we think of being purified and cleaned. After we've atoned, we've paid homage to the Buddhas, and in preparation for listening to the precepts and reciting them. And this is for everyone out there. We also keep in mind all sentient beings. We try to offer thoughts of goodwill to all beings out there that we vow to save, protect, and care for by keeping these precepts and by sharing these precepts. And so, as usual, I try to say a few words every time we get to this point of the ceremony. It's funny that it's always the same topic, it's always the precepts. But as I always say, the precepts are as ample as our lives are. So as long as we're alive and we're going through things, there will always be something to say regarding the precepts. And looking at something that I could offer to you all, I decided to rely on Master Dogen as a starting point. And I was looking at his fascicle Jukai from Shobo Genzo. And this one is a very technical kind of procedural fascicle. He doesn't go into explaining a lot. He simply goes through the mechanics of the ceremony of bestowing the precepts upon someone or receiving the precepts. But he starts off this fascicle with the following really humongous statement. He says, if one has not received the precepts, one is not yet a disciple of the Buddhas, not yet a descendant of the ancestral masters. He says, the words, the precepts are considered primary, are quite surely in themselves the treasury of the true Dharma I. Attaining Buddhahood and becoming an ancestor always depend on receiving and keeping the treasury of the true Dharma I. Now it's funny because there's a whole bunch of fascicles where something else is also defined as the treasury of the true Dharma I. Zazen is also the treasury of the true Dharma I. Samadhi is also the treasury. The teachings of the Buddha are also, everything is the treasury of the true Dharma I, right? But in this case, it's the precepts. And he says clearly at the beginning, if one has not received the precepts, one is not yet a disciple of the Buddha. And that's a big statement, right? Some of you here, I know, have already taken the precepts, have gone through Jukai. We've studied the precepts together. We've discussed them. We've pondered them for months as you painstakingly put stitch after stitch in the rakusu until the day that it was given to you and you were asked, will you keep these precepts from now until the end of your life? And you said, yes, yes, yes. Why are the precepts so important? That's a question that I know all of you can answer in one way or another. But humor me. I'm going to continue an idea that I started this morning as we were doing our weekly Zazenkai here on the European time zone. To engage in practicing the way of the Buddha is to effectively manifest our realization, our enlightenment. Not a general, universal kind of enlightenment. Yours. personal, individual. Because the practice is where you engage yourselves. And so we don't start off with the full baked pie, right? To enter the Buddha way, it says, Master Dogen says, the first thing you're given is the precepts. That should tell us something. Our natural impulses, our natural responses to whatever's in front of us are a natural manifestation of our realization or enlightenment, right? So whatever comes out naturally, we can say is more or less where we are. And that's okay. But at the beginning of the way, we're given these precepts so that when we're unsure, when we have doubts, when our natural impulse might not be the most skillful, we have the wisdom of the Buddha and of the Buddhas to use as a roadmap. I might not be skillful right now in applying certain things. I might have a lot of work to do on myself as a human being struggling to walk this path. But I have help in the precepts. So it's the first thing to be given. Now, we also say that the precepts and Zazen are one. And Kote would argue now, if he turned on his microphone, that the precepts naturally arise from Zazen. There you go. I knew I had to say it. It is true. They naturally arise from Zazen. They naturally arise from practice. As we stay engaged in practice. It's not necessarily an automatic thing. I said Zazen once for 30 minutes, I get off the cushion and kaboom! Everything that comes out of me is, absolute enlightenment. It's work, it's hard work, it's hard practice. Master Dogen says the same thing, Life and death are of supreme importance and time passes by swiftly. Opportunity is lost. Practice, practice, practice. But we sit Zazen, and when we sit Zazen, we become familiar with this person, with this body-mind. We become familiar with this body-mind concentrated, with this body-mind in samadhi, with this body-mind not judging, not being critical, not being harmful, not being offensive, not being angered. We become familiar with how all those things arise in us as well. And if we sit long enough and often enough, some things become glaringly obvious. This thing keeps coming up again and again and again and again. And so, with appropriate attention and the wisdom that arises from that practice, from that observation, from that familiarity with ourselves, we then do the work of adjusting. We keep the precepts as much as we can. We fail. We come into tone. We are reminded of what they mean. We recommit to them. And we go back into the craziness of the world and figure out what it means to be this person in all those situations, vowing to keep these precepts and vows. And I think that's all I want to say to you. It's probably longer than I intended it to be. Kote can scold me afterwards. But right now we're going to move to the important bit, which is reciting the precepts together. I forgot my clappers. All you disciples of the Buddha, join your palms in reverence and listen wholeheartedly. I would now like to articulate the preface to the great precepts of the Buddhas. If the members of the assembly will quietly listen and they know that they have done wrong, they will atone. If they atone, then they will be at ease. If they do not repent, their wrongdoing will grow more grievous. Those who have done wrong are silent, and because of their silence, you should know that they are all purified. Worthy monks, laymen, laywomen, and all the rest, listen well. In this difficult age, when the lifetime of the Buddha sometimes seems distant, you should revere the Pratimoksha. The Pratimoksha is none other than these precepts. When you observe these precepts, it is like darkness meeting with light. It is like someone poor attaining a treasure. It is like someone who is ill being healed. It is like a prisoner being released from his chains. It is like a traveler who is able to return home. You should know that these rules are the great teacher for this assembly of people, no different from the presence of the Buddha in the world here and now. Thoughts of fear are difficult to produce. Unwholesome thoughts are difficult to give rise to. Therefore, a sutra says, do not trivialize minor misdeeds as if they're not problematic. Drops of water, although tiny, will gradually fill a large basin. A single instant of wrongdoing can lead you to fall into a hell of uninterrupted suffering. Once you lose your human body, you may not get another one for 10,000 kalpas. Just as a galloping horse, one's physical strength will not remain. The transience of human life goes beyond the mountains and seas. Even if something remains for the duration of one day, it will be quite difficult to hold on to it tomorrow. Members of the assembly should each energetically advance their own minds. Be careful not to be lazy, negligent, drowsy, or arbitrary. In the evening, you must gather your thoughts and focus them firmly on the three treasures. Don't take as being a waste of time the effort to deepen your repentance for those of later generations. Members of the assembly, each of you in your own minds should carefully rely on these precepts. Discipline yourselves in the practices that accord with the Buddha's teaching. And now, with clear minds and attention, let us recite the precepts. Today, I reaffirm my commitment to seek as I can in this body and life to avoid doing harm, to seek as I can in this body and life to live in a healthful and helping way, doing good, to seek as I can in this body and life to live for the benefit of all sentient beings, to seek as I can in this body and life to refrain from the killing of life, to seek as I can in this body and life to live in generosity and refrain from taking that which is not given, to seek as I can in this body and life to refrain from misusing sexuality and all desire, to seek as I can in this body and life to refrain from false and malicious speech, to seek as I can in this body and life to refrain from intoxication in its many forms, to seek as I can in this body and life to refrain from unconstructively criticizing the errors and faults of others, to seek as I can in this body and life to refrain from praising oneself and judging others, to seek as I can in this body and life to refrain from stinginess in bestowing the Buddhist teachings and all precious things. To seek as I can in this body and life to refrain from all anger. To seek as I can in this body and life to refrain from disparaging the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Please take with you this phrase at the beginning of each of the precepts. To seek as I can in this body and life. Every time you ponder what the precepts mean, remember that. Seek as best as you can. We seek as best as we can. Give me 1 second, Kote. As we chant the refuge verse together, at the end there's a small bell. With the small bell you can do a dip gasho, a dip bow, or you can do a full prostration. Whatever your body allows.
I take refuge in Buddha. May all living beings embody the great way and give rise to the highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May all living beings enter deeply into the sutras, that ocean of wisdom. I take refuge in Sangha. May all living beings support the harmony in the community, free from all hindrances.
And now we recite together the Bodhisattva vows.
To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless. To transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible. To perceive reality, though reality is boundless. To attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless. To transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible. To perceive reality, though reality is boundless. To attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless. To transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible. To perceive reality, though reality is boundless. To attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable.
Abiding in this ephemeral world, may we exist in muddy water with purity like a lotus. Nothing escapes the boundless mind. Thus we bow to Buddha. Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reaffirming our commitment to the precepts, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha, Honored One, the historical Buddha and teacher, and to the all-pervading and everlasting three treasures, To all our hats and bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, and their relations throughout the Dharma worlds. May we all realize and live the enlightened way together.
All Buddhas throughout space and time. All Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha Prajna Paramita.
Thank you very much to all of you. Let me try to come close. I feel you're too far away, all of you. Thank you so very much for your effort, for your presence here today, for your dedication to try to be here as often as you are every month. It means a lot. It is part of the fundamental practices of Sanghas ever since the original Sangha back in the day of the Buddha. So it is not a small thing. Thank you very much. I hope what I said in no way misleads you. Take it with humongous grains of salt. If there's anything there to ponder, please do so. And I will see you next month. But I will see you in the Sangha in the next days or whatever. But next month we'll be here again to recommit, atone, and continue. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you together and individually. Thank you, Kote, for chanting.
Thank you.
Go be good people. Like Jindo says, be the sea and the ocean and the swimming, but swim well.
For me, it's time to
Bye.
go to sleep.
Huh?
For me, it's time to go to sleep, yeah.
Good night and sleep, dream of nice things.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kote.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Chikyo, lovely to have you here. Thank you for being here. And Anthony, same thing. Thank you very much for being here. And Koji,
Thank you.
and Junsho, everyone.
Thank
You guys